Good evening. You must forgive my voice. I just came off of a 14-day cruise on the lovely Norwegian getaway out of Miami. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to read you my latest and my greatest book. The title is Emotional Intelligence by Theron Collins. Chapter 1. The emotion is not the enemy. Let me tell you what I started noticing. People are walking around carrying things you can't see. You can see the smile. You can see the clothes. You can see the money. Y'all hear me? You can see the car. You can see the relationship. You can see the vacation pictures. But you can't always see what's happening inside of someone. And sometimes the person smiling the hardest is fighting the hardest battle. I recently spent 2 weeks on a cruise. Norwegian getaway, baby, Port of Miami. 2 weeks. Surrounded by thousands of people. Different ages, different backgrounds, different personalities, different stories. And something became very clear to me. A lot of people are frustrated. You can feel it. Some people are irritated about everything. Some people are angry before you even speak to them. Some people are looking for someone to blame. Some people are looking for somebody to argue with. Some people are looking for someone to validate them. Do you understand me? And some people are simply exhausted. But here's what really caught my attention. Are y'all listening? People don't always keep their emotions to themselves. They transfer them. You walk into a room where somebody is angry. Guess what? You're uncomfortable. Somebody complains to you for 30 minutes, and now you're carrying their problem. Somebody constantly criticizes everybody around them, and before long, you're participating in the criticism. Do y'all hear me? Somebody is negative every day, and eventually you start thinking negatively too. That's why emotional intelligence matters, because you have to learn the difference between what belongs to me and what I just picked up from somebody else. Do y'all hear me? Whose emotion is this? I want you to start asking yourself a strange question. When you suddenly become irritated, are y'all listening? Whose emotion is this? When you suddenly become anxious, whose emotion is this? Are y'all with me? When you walk into a room feeling peaceful and walk out feeling drained, what happened? When you were perfectly fine 5 minutes ago, is suddenly angry. What changed? Maybe something happened. Maybe somebody said something. Maybe somebody looked at you differently. Hallelujah. Maybe somebody brought their problems into your space. Let's talk about it. Thanks for the lessons. Maybe you were already carrying something and didn't realize it. Stay with me. The point isn't to blame everybody else. The point is awareness. I need you to focus, Theron. Listener. Focus. 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 Again, the point is awareness. Because if you don't know what's happening inside of you, you become vulnerable to everything happening around you. Do y'all hear me? And that's dangerous. Some people are tired of themselves. Here's something nobody likes to say. Sometimes people aren't frustrated with you. They're frustrated with themselves. You just happen to be standing there. They aren't angry because you did something terrible. They're angry because they're disappointed with the life they're in. They're not jealous because you're doing something wrong. They're jealous because your progress reminds them of what they haven't done. Hallelujah. You want my spot flash? Well, you ain't gonna get it because you ain't got it. That's what we go. They're not always criticizing you because you're failing. Sometimes your growth makes them uncomfortable. Let's talk about it. And if you don't understand emotional intelligence, you'll take everything personally. That's exhausting. You spend your life responding to reactions that were never really about you. Somebody has a bad day. You think you caused it. Somebody doesn't acknowledge you. You think you're not valuable. Somebody rejects you. You think you're unlovable. Somebody gets jealous. You start questioning whether you should shine. No. Wake up. Focus. Their emotion is information about their experience. It's not automatically a definition of your identity. The emotional mirror. People are mirrors. Not always accurate mirrors, but mirrors. Sometimes what irritates you about another person reveals something you haven't examined in yourself. That's uncomfortable, but it's powerful. Maybe you hate arrogance because you spent years fighting your own ego. Maybe somebody's insecurity triggers you because you're insecure about something too. Maybe somebody's anger makes you furious because you don't know how to express your own anger. Maybe somebody's need for attention bothers you because you spent your whole life feeling unseen. That doesn't mean everything is your fault. That's not the message. The message is this: look within. Because emotional intelligence requires enough courage to investigate yourself, not just everyone else. Look at the person in the mirror. There, listening. Stop running from your emotions. We have been taught to escape uncomfortable emotions. Drink, smoke, scroll, shop, have intercourse, work, eat, argue, gossip, sleep, stay busy. Anything except sitting still long enough to ask, what is actually happening inside of me? And I understand it. Sometimes feeling is painful. Sometimes silence is painful. Sometimes remembering is painful. Sometimes admitting the truth is painful. But avoiding an emotion doesn't necessarily make it disappear. Sometimes it simply waits. And then it comes back through another door. Are y'all listening? You get angry at your partner, but the real wound came from childhood. You become controlling, but underneath the control is fear. You become emotionally unavailable, but underneath the distance is hurt. You become aggressive, but underneath the aggression is vulnerability. You become overly independent, but underneath the independence is the belief that nobody can be trusted. The behavior is visible, the wound is hidden, and emotional intelligence teaches you to look underneath the behavior. Y'all still with me? You don't have to obey the first thought. This might be one of the most important lessons in this entire book. Please focus. Your first thought does not have to become your final decision. Do y'all hear me? You get angry. Your mind says, say something. I'm telling you to pause. Your ego says, get them back. I'm telling you to pause. Your fear says, leave before they leave you. Pause. Your insecurity says, they don't respect you. Pause. Your pain says, nobody cares. Pause. Just because a thought arrives doesn't mean it deserves authority. Are y'all with me? Thoughts can be automatic. Emotions can be automatic. But awareness gives you an opportunity to choose your response. Y'all with me? That little space between stimulus and response can change your life. You are not a garbage can. Here's another one. You're not a garbage can for everybody else's emotional waste. Are y'all listening? You can love people without absorbing everything they carry. You can care about somebody without allowing them to constantly disturb your peace. You can listen without becoming responsible for fixing everybody. You can have compassion without surrendering your boundaries. And you can walk away without hatred. That's maturity. Some people think emotional intelligence means becoming available to everybody. Now, sometimes emotional intelligence means recognizing this conversation is no longer healthy for me and leaving. Not dramatically, not angrily, not with revenge, just leaving. Protect your peace without becoming hard. This is where I want to challenge you. Don't let other people's dysfunction turn you into somebody you don't recognize. Say this out loud with me in your mind. Excuse me, don't say this. Don't say everybody is fake. Don't say nobody can be trusted. Don't say love isn't real. Don't say people always hurt you. Because now somebody hurt you. And you're letting them decide what you believe about the entire world. No. Protect yourself, but don't close yourself. Set boundaries, but don't build a prison. Learn discernment, but don't become paranoid. Become wiser, not colder. There's a difference. The power of release. Every emotion doesn't need a permanent home. Read that again. Every emotion doesn't need a permanent home. Anger can move through you. Grief can move through you. From grief to gratitude by Theron Collins. Fear can move through you. Disappointment can move through you. You don't have to keep replaying the same emotional movie for 20 years, y'all. You can release. Release doesn't mean pretending it didn't happen. Release means, are you listening? It happened. It affected me. I learned from it. And I'm not carrying it into every room I enter. Hallelujah. That's freedom, y'all. Y'all listening? The cruise taught me something. Standing around all those people taught me something. You could be surrounded by thousands of people and still be disconnected from yourself. You could be laughing and still be hurting. You could be drinking and still be thinking. You could be dancing and still carrying resentment, y'all. Do y'all hear me? You could be on vacation and still be fighting an internal war. Changing your location doesn't automatically change your consciousness. You can fly across the world and still bring yourself with you. You'll meet you there. Trust me. You can get on a cruise ship, but you can't escape your mind. Eventually, you have to meet yourself. And that's why we're here. Not to judge people, not to condemn people, not to call everybody toxic. We're here to wake up. Are you aware? Are you aware? Are you aware? To wake up. So here's your assignment. The next time you become angry, pause. P-A-U-S-E, pause. The next time someone gets under your skin, pause. The next time you feel drained after talking to someone, pause. The next time you catch yourself obsessing over what someone else said, pause and ask, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling it? Is this mine? What story am I telling myself? What part of my ego is involved? What would the emotional, intelligent version of me do next? You don't need to become emotionless. You need to become conscious. Because once you become conscious, you become harder to manipulate, harder to provoke, harder to control. Are y'all listening? Harder to pull into someone else's chaos. And eventually you become free. Sorry about that, y'all. Say this out loud with me. I'm allowed to heal. Actually, I am allowed to feel. I am allowed to pause. I am allowed to change my mind. I am allowed to protect my peace. I am allowed to forgive myself. Theron Collins. I am allowed to release what no longer serves me. I don't have to carry everybody else's emotions. I don't have to carry everybody else's emotions. I don't have to react to every thought. I don't have to prove myself to everybody. I don't have to become hard because somebody else hurt me. I can become wiser. I can become calmer. I can become stronger. I can become more aware. I can expand. I can feel this without becoming this and that. Is emotional intelligence. Into chapter 1. Chapter 2. The ego wants to be right. Let's talk about the ego. This is Theron Collins. Because quite frankly, the ego is sneaky. The ego doesn't always sound arrogant. Sometimes the ego sounds like fear. Sometimes it sounds like pride. Sometimes it sounds like I'm just protecting myself. Sometimes it sounds like I'm not going to let anybody disrespect me. Sometimes it sounds like I don't need anybody. Sometimes it sounds like I'm done loving people. And sometimes the ego sounds exactly like your own voice. You listen? That's why it can be so difficult to recognize. The ego doesn't always tell you to become someone you're not. Sometimes it convinces you to protect the version of yourself that you've already outgrown. Moving forward. The need to be right. Have you ever been in an argument where you knew you were technically right, but somehow the entire situation became worse? You proved your point. You got the last word. You pulled out the receipts. You explained exactly what happened. You made sure they understood. And then you walked away, still angry, still thinking about it, still replaying the conversations, still wishing you had said something else, still waiting for them to admit you were right. Here's the question. Did you win? Because if proving that you were right cost you your peace, what exactly did you win, Theron, listener? Sometimes the ego would rather be right than be free. I am Theron Collins, and that's expensive. The ego keeps score. The ego remembers. It remembers who didn't call, who didn't congratulate you, who didn't show up, who embarrassed you, who rejected you, who betrayed you, who chose somebody else, who underestimated you, who said you wouldn't make it, who didn't believe in you. And the ego keeps all of it in a mental filing cabinet. Are y'all listening? And then one day, somebody says something completely unrelated, and the ego opens the file. See? This is exactly what I'm talking about. Now you're not responding to today. You're responding to 10 years ago. That's emotional baggage. And sometimes we don't even realize we're carrying it. Your body remembers the argument. Think about the last time someone made you really mad. Think about the last time someone made you really angry. Saturday. Did your body change? Maybe your heart started beating faster. Maybe your jaw tightened. Maybe your shoulders became tense. Maybe your breathing changed. Maybe you felt heat in your body. Your emotional experience isn't just an intellectual event. Your body participates. Your brain and nervous system are constantly evaluating what's happening around you. And when something feels threatened, physically or psychologically, your body can prepare you to respond. Fight or flight. That's useful when you're in actual danger. But here's the problem. Your body doesn't always know the difference between a physical threat and an emotional charged situation in the way your conscious mind might. Someone cutting you off in traffic isn't necessarily trying to destroy your life. Someone disagreeing with you isn't necessarily attacking your identity. Someone not texting you back isn't necessarily abandoning you. Someone saying no isn't necessarily rejecting your worth. But your interpretation can turn a moment into a war. The story after the event. You guys still with me? Here's where emotional intelligence gets interesting. Something happens. Then your mind explains what happened. Those two things aren't always the same. Someone walks past you without saying hello. Fact. They walk past you. Story. They don't respect me. Maybe. But maybe they didn't see you. Maybe they're distracted. Maybe they're having a terrible day. Maybe they're thinking about something completely unrelated to you. You don't know. They're listening. But the ego hates uncertainty, y'all. So it creates a story. And then you react to the story as if it were fact. That's how unnecessary suffering begins. Ask better questions. Instead of, why are they disrespecting me? Ask, what else could be happening here? Instead of, why don't they love me? Ask, what evidence do I actually have? Instead of, why is everybody against me? Ask, am I interpreting everything through the lens of what I've already experienced? Instead of, how could I get revenge? Ask, what outcome would actually give me peace? Better questions create better possibilities. Your old self may be defending itself. Here's something deep. Sometimes your present-day reactions are old version of you trying to protect itself. The little boy who wasn't heard. The little girl who wasn't protected. The teenager who was embarrassed. The young adult who was betrayed. The person who gave everything and got nothing back. The person who trusted someone and got hurt. That version of you may still be living inside your emotional reactions. And when something familiar happens, that old alarm system goes off. You aren't necessarily weak. You're triggered. Then, listening. There's a difference. And recognizing that difference gives you a choice. You can thank the old you. You can thank the old you. I want you to try something. Think about an old version of yourself. Maybe you made terrible decisions then. Maybe you stayed too long. Maybe you left too early. Maybe you trusted the wrong people. Maybe you didn't know how to communicate. Maybe you were angry, selfish, scared. Maybe you didn't know who you were. Instead of hurting that person, thank them. Say to them, Theron, you got me here. You don't have to live like them anymore. But you don't have to hate them either. That person was learning. That person was surviving. That person was working with the information they had. And now you know more. Forgiveness is not weakness. People sometimes think forgiveness means somebody got away with something. Let's talk about it. No. Forgiveness doesn't mean there were no consequences. Forgiveness doesn't mean that you have to trust somebody again. Forgiveness doesn't mean you have to reconnect. Forgiveness doesn't mean what happened was acceptable. Forgiveness means I refuse to keep paying emotionally for something that already happened. I refuse to keep paying emotionally for something that already happened. I refuse to keep paying emotionally for something that already happened. It's powerful there, y'all. Because resentment is expensive. It occupies mental space. Let them people live what they rent free. It consumes attention. It keeps you emotionally connected to people you may not even want in your life anymore. Think about that. You can remove somebody physically and keep them mentally. You can block their phone number, but still have a conversation with them every night in your head. It's not freedom, y'all. Let it go. Let the dead bury it. I'm sorry. Let the dead things die. Some relationships are over. Some friendships are over. Some versions of you are over. Some dreams are over. some seasons are over. And sometimes your suffering comes from trying to resurrect something that's already dead, already died in. Let it die. Let the old identity die. Let the old argument die. Let the old resentment die. Let the need for an apology die. That apology is never coming. You don't need someone else to acknowledge your pain before you're allowed to heal. You can validate yourself. You can tell yourself, yes, that hurt. Yes, it mattered. I deserve better. And then I'm moving forward. Power without revenge. There's a difference between power and revenge. The Scarface said, first you get the money, then you get the power. Then you get the power. Revenge says, I'm going to make you feel what you made me feel. Power says, you don't control me anymore. Revenge keeps you connected. Power releases you. Revenge requires you to keep watching. Power allows you to keep living. Revenge says, look what I did to you. Freedom says, I don't need you to see me anymore. That's a different level, y'all. When you stop taking everything personally, imagine how much energy you would get back if you stopped taking everything personally. Somebody doesn't like you, okay. Somebody misunderstands you, okay. Somebody talks about you, okay. Somebody doesn't recognize you, okay. That's their perspective. Your job is not to become universally understood. Your job is to know yourself, because if you know who you are, you don't need everyone to agree with it. The ego says prove it. The ego says show them. Life says live it. The ego says make them regret losing you. Life says become someone you're proud to be. The ego says get even. Wisdom says get better. The ego says don't let them see you hurt. Emotional intelligence says you can acknowledge that you're hurt without becoming the hurt. That's maturity. You can blame the world forever. You can blame your parents, your ex, your childhood, your boss, your friends, your enemies, society, your circumstances. And sometimes those things absolutely contribute to your pain. But eventually, you have to become the person responsible for what happens next. That's where your power begins. Not because of what was your fault. Not because what happened was your fault, but because your healing becomes your responsibility. That's a completely different statement. What happened to you may not have been your choice. What you do with it can be your choice. That's the doorway. The wake up. So tonight and tomorrow morning, look at yourself in the mirror and ask, where am I still trying to prove myself? Who am I still angry with? What arguments am I still having in my head? Whose approval am I still chasing? What old version of myself am I still punishing? What would happen if I finally let myself be free? Don't rush the answers. Sit with them. Because emotional intelligence isn't about having perfect answers. It's about becoming brave enough to ask honest questions. And once you start asking honest questions, your life starts giving you honest answers. Say this out loud with me in your head. I didn't need to win every argument. I don't need to win every argument. I don't need everybody to understand me. I don't need revenge to prove my worth. I don't need to carry old anger into new relationships. I can acknowledge my pain without becoming my pain. I can forgive without forgetting the lesson. I can release without becoming weak. I can protect my light without closing my heart. I can admit when I'm wrong. I can change. I can grow. I can expand. I am not my past. I am not my worst decision. I'm not someone else's opinion of me. I am becoming. And becoming is powerful. That's the end of chapter 2. To be continued. Thank you for listening. This is Theron Collins. Today is Tuesday, August the 25th, 2025. God bless you and family.